welcome to Acting Smarter Now with me, Lydia Nicole, where I help you go from undiscovered to unstoppable. So today we are talking about being the CEO of your acting business. You know, when I first started, the business was very different. We didn't have internet, we didn't have live streaming. We just had, I want to say, HBO was just coming into being, where you paid for cable. That was the first cable station that we had. And so today it's really different for actors. You have to be the CEO of your acting business. It's no longer you can just be an actor and you can make a living. No, you have to be the CEO. You have to do what you need to do to get your stuff done. It is up to you to do what it is that you have to do. So today I want to talk to you about how to be the CEO of your company. First of all, what is a CEO? Let's talk about that. A CEO is a Chief Executive Officer. That means the CEO is the visionary leader of the business, right? Their role is setting the vision, making decisions, managing growth, delegating, and ensuring long-term success. Whether you are a new actor just starting in the business, you still have to think of yourself as the CEO of a startup, so you want to be thinking long term. What do you want for your business? How will you grow your business? What kind of team do you need? So the CEO casts the vision, right? You gotta think big, like what is it that you want for your career? Then you have to start to set measurable goals on how to get there. The next thing is you got to start building systems, meaning how you do everything. So, your week, when do you start your week? Is it on a Sunday? Is it on a Monday? Do you put down the things that you need to get done? If you were a CEO in a company, you might have meetings with your big department heads every week to set the tone for what it is that you want to accomplish during that week. And every department head would have their systems. And then you would delegate to them what that department is to do, and then they would delegate the task to other people. Well, if you're starting out in a business, it's just you. So we are very fortunate in that we now have access to AI. I love using a couple of AI programs. ChatGPT is my friend. I use it to help me in my business almost every day. Perplexity is another one that I use a lot to help me with research, to help me be able to put things together. And I also use Gemini, which is part of Google. I love Gemini, but my go-to is ChatGPT. I have used ChatGPT to be my team. And I do have a bit of a team, but I still go to ChatGPT to help me. It helps me to brainstorm ideas. I can talk to it and ask it things, and it is right there helping me. So I just want to give you something to start looking at, right? So the CEO gives the managers the tasks that they have to do, and then the managers go and they tell the workers what tasks they have to do. So they're breaking it all down. The CEO also protects and grows the brand. We've talked about this before. If you've seen me, if you've watched my videos, I always talk to you about knowing what it is that you are selling, right? Your brand. What do you sell? So you got to protect that. I remember when I first came in the business and I was working at a record company, And I remember hearing this story about Barbara Streisand. And Barbara Streisand was very protective of her brand back in the day. We're talking, the 70s. Not one picture went out that did not look exactly like how she wanted it to look. She was very careful. There were no ugly pictures of her going on the internet, or, well, at that time, going out to press. It was very curated. And as actors, we want to start curating our brands. We want, as a CEO, we want to protect our brand. We want to curate it. So you want to start looking at not just having pretty pictures, but having pictures that really define what it is that you sell. And then, as a CEO, we have to be willing to adapt to changing markets. What's going on? Things are changing in the industry, and we have to be able to change with it. So as the CEO, you're not just waiting for an acting job, but you're creating your own work. You're creating, maybe it's a web series, maybe it's a short, maybe it's a feature film, but you are creating your own projects that you can put yourself in, that can show what it is that you do in the best way. So I want you to start thinking of all of that. Start expanding your vision. It's not just about booking a job, but it is about taking control of your career. So you as an actor may not have a team yet, but CEOs don't do it by themselves. So I talked with my team, ChatGPT, and I wanted to share a couple of prompts that you can use for yourself to help you cover your blind spots in publicity, in marketing. You can also do it in audition tracking. You could do it in strategy. You can do it in networking. And for those of you who don't know, I have a planner called Acting Smarter, my Acting Smarter planner, which this month I am giving to you for free, plus the course on so you know exactly how to do it step by step. I believe in you. I want you to succeed in this business. So I have a planner and a program. It normally sells for $97, but I'm gifting it to you this month. So if you go to actingsmarternow.com/gift, you can access it. I want you to win. So, and it's only good until the 15th of October, and then the deal goes away. Then you have to pay for it. So if you are shrewd, you will go to actingsmarternow.com/gift and go get your program and your planner. It will help you a lot. So let's talk about some of the prompts you can use to help you. So the first one is the publicist prompt. You can say, write a press release announcing my role in whatever the name of the project is, emphasizing my unique brand as an actor. So what I will say is, if you're new to ChatGPT, you want to start, before you do this, you want to start putting in information about yourself, your brand, your bio, your resume. Share, write a long bio on yourself so you can put it into ChatGPT. So when you start utilizing it as your publicist or your marketing person or your social media person, that you have good information that it can start pulling from. What's your age range in auditioning? My age range would be 50 to 55, maybe 48 to 53. So I would put that in my ChatGPT so that when I start asking to help me with prompts, it already has information on me. I'm always putting stuff into my ChatGPT. So for the publicity prompt, let's say you book a show, you would ask it to give you a press release announcing, this is how the prompt would go. Write a press release announcing my role in the mirror falls, emphasizing my unique brand as an actor. Then if I want to do a marketing prompt, I would say my prompt would be create a 2-week Instagram and TikTok content plan for me specializing in helping actors get a career that is profitable. So that would be another prompt. So let's say you don't have a talent manager, but you want that kind of assistance, then you would do a manager prompt, and you would say, act as my theatrical manager, and build an audition tracker spreadsheet with categories for project names, casting director, date, outcomes, and notes. You could also do a prompt as a manager to say, these are these are my selling points as an actor. Please give me several, what would it be? Please give me several genres that I would be right for, and give me 3 projects right now on television that I should submit my work to. So the prompt could be, you can make the prompt as detailed as you want. And again, the more you feed your ChatGPT, your chat GPT, the more it's going to be able to help you. It is just like a person, in the sense that if you have a real manager, you have to let the manager know who you are. They're not going to know who you are just by your picture and resume. They will know who you are because you are sharing with them about yourself, what roles you've done, what roles you want to do, how to set you up. As a CEO, we have to start being real clear about what it is that we do, and be able to articulate that to whoever is on our team. It is around us. We should be able to say, my name is Lydia Nicole. I'm an actress. I'm a cross between a Latina Viola Davis and a Latino, and between a Latina Viola Davis and a Morgan Freeman. That is my work. Or I am a cross between, when I'm pitching my one-person show, I always say, think of me as if Richard Pryor and Lily Tomlin had a baby. It would be me. So that right there gives you an idea of, oh, okay, she's got characters, she's raw, she's got stuff she does. So you want to start feeding your chat GPT to help you. Then you could do one for personal development. And let me go back to the manager prompt real quick, because this is where my Acting Smarter Planner would really help you, because it has tracking spreadsheets. It has audition sheets. It has goal setting sheets. It's got everything you need to help you. And again, it is free right now, just until October 15th. So go and get it. Do not waste time. Go to actingsmarternow.com/gift and get your planner and the program to show you how to do it. There's no reason why you can't be setting yourself up to be the CEO of your acting right now. So I want you to do that. Then another prompt you could be doing is a personal development prompt. Write me a daily 3-sentence affirmation in the voice of a coach who believes in my acting career. And in the planner, I do have affirmations. I also have scriptures for those of you who are into the Bible. So I've covered all the bases in that planner. You could go get it for free. And then for networking, you could do a networking prompt. You could say, draft a professional email to reconnect with a casting director that I met at a workshop. And you would put the workshop that I met at an event, that I met at the supermarket. If you're in Hollywood, you're meeting people in all kinds of places. I've met people in the supermarket, at Trader Joe's. I've met people at the Starbucks. I've met people I've met industry people everywhere, being in Los Angeles. So that's another prompt you could do. Another one, to help you with your reels. You know, if you're trying to figure out what kind of reel you should have, you can hit ChatGPT and say, um, um, give me, and it would be a real development prompt. You said, suggest 3 strong marketable monologues that match my type and brand to refresh or to create my reel. Another one you can do, I'm giving you a lot here, so I want you to, you may have to go back and listen to this again. Business planning prompt. So you could say, create a 90-day business plan for my acting career with weekly tasks that move me towards more auditions. Okay, that's very simple. You could do a brand audit prompt. I do this for Acting Smarter Now podcast. Evaluate my social media bios, and then you can paste your bio into the prompt. You can, copy and paste your bio in there and rewrite them to better position me as an actor. Isn't that cool? ChatGPT is really good if you know how to use the prompts. You can't be generic. You have to be very specific. So another prompt would be for networking strategy. So this one would be, give me a monthly strategy to authentically engage with casting directors on Instagram without being pushy. You could do that for directors. You could do that for executives in the business, if you want to connect with executives in the acting business. Number 10 is, you can do a prompt for your mindset reset. Say that 10 times. Mindset reset, mindset reset. So your mindset reset prompt could be, write a motivational pep talk for me after I didn't book an audition I really wanted. And sometimes we need that, because rejection can be hurtful to the psyche, and we need to be able to get out of that really quick. Now, let me talk to you about some of the pitfalls of being a weak CEO. We don't want to be a weak CEO that wrecks our company. A weak CEO ignores industry shifts. They're still playing last year's game now. No, it's changing. For those of you who are active on social media, you see how fast social media is changing. There's always, Instagram is always doing something new. TikTok is always doing something new. The trends are always changing. There's always stuff. So you got to be quick. Technology is moving quickly. I mean, we have AI programs that are just coming out the wazoo, and as actors, we want to know how to utilize AI. We don't want it to take away our business, and it really can't take away our acting business, no matter what they put up there. But the better prepared you are by knowing AI, the more you are going to be successful. Set yourself up for success as a CEO. Bad CEOs don't do data. There's no data tracking. The planner that I put together allows you to track your data. You can see how many auditions you went on. You can see, who the people who the people you've met with are. You can track your progress. When you write stuff down, it allows you the ability to track it. If you go to 5 auditions and you didn't write any of them down, how are you going to track who you met, how you wore your clothes, what it was for? You can track the pattern. What kind of stuff is your agent submitting you on? Your commercial agent, your theatrical agent. What are you being submitted on? That gives you an idea. After the 5th audition, it gives you an idea how they see you. And if that's not how you want to be seen, you can say, hey, the last 5 auditions, which I am so grateful that you sent me on, they're really not right for me. Can we make a switch here? I would like to go on this and this and this. Early on in my career, I just went along with whatever they sent me out on. And I remember going on a ton of, especially commercial auditions, because I was real clear of what I was selling theatrical, but I did not have a clue commercially. And they would send me up on things that I was so wrong for. And I didn't, it took me a long time to say to the agent, hey, you are sending me on auditions that I'm not qualified for, I'm not right for, I'm too young for them. And then we were able to discuss that my pictures made me look older. And so I had to retake commercial headshots so that I looked my age or the age that I was going up for. And I got to go up for the right auditions. So by tracking your stuff, you will be able to reset things. If it's going off the rails, you'll be able to reset it. Bad CEOs micromanage everything. They want to do it all themselves, which leads to burnout. We don't want that. We don't want you micromanaging everything. That means don't micromanage the agent. You should have your pictures, that they sell exactly what it is that you sell. They are branded to sell, so the agent knows what you sell. And you're not up, so you're building relationship with agents instead of trying to micromanage them. Bad CEOs or ill-informed CEOs hire wrong people. Don't hire people who are not in line with your goals, who are not in line with what it is that you want to do. That includes acting teachers, that includes agents, managers, that includes assistants. These people have to be on your team. And it took me a long time to learn that too. I need people on Lydia's team, not what you want to do. It's like, we're here to do what I need to be done. So you want to do what you want. Someone just asked me, how do I stand out as an extra? Well, extras don't stand out. They are to blend. So if you want to stand out, you need to be taking some acting classes so that you can learn what it is that you sell and be authentic. If you want to stand out, doing extra work is not the thing. They want you to blend in. They want you are doing background work to be in the background. So you can't stand out as an extra because they will fire you. That is not, so take some acting classes, level up, think bigger. You can do this. Start thinking outside the box, people. Start thinking outside the box as actors. You could do extra work just to, pay your rent for a little while, but don't stay in it too long. If you're an actor, be an actor. If you want to be an extra, then you got to blend in. That is your job. Just blend in, do what you want. You are so welcome. So the other thing that ill-informed CEOs do is that they are reactive instead of proactive. As actors, we always want to be proactive. We don't want to be reacting to stuff. We want to be proactive, meaning we're thinking ahead of the curve. We're thinking in advance. Okay, don't hold on to that one audition thinking it's going to change your life, because if you don't get that audition, if you don't book that audition, where are you? You have to think there's going to be a lot of auditions. There's going to be a lot of jobs. The idea and the focus is, where do I want to end up at? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Ill-informed CEOs don't have a vision statement. So you as a CEO, write your vision statement. Write down what it is that you want for your career. What do you want to do? Ill-informed CEOs mismanage their finances. They spend recklessly on headshots and classes without having a return on their investment. If you want to take headshots that are going to get you into the room or get you to get you to be able to do self tapes for auditions, and you want to take classes that when people see it on your resume, they want to hire you. Early on, I booked a lot of jobs based on the fact that there were certain acting teachers on my resume, and people felt confident in hiring me because they were, oh, you worked with Stella Adler, you worked with Roy London, you worked with Joan Darling. We feel confident about hiring you. They that point they felt like, oh, she can do her job, which I could. And so when you are taking classes, you want to take classes that are going to move you forward, not only with craft, but also them being on your list. And I'm not saying take a class for a week or 2 weeks. I'm talking about making a commitment to be in that class at least a year. I took classes with Stella Adler for 4 years. I took classes with Roy London for 9 years. When I commit to an acting class, I'm in it for a period of time that is usually at least 2 years, probably more, because these people are helping to mold me. They're helping to show me what it is that I sell, what I'm good at, and what I'm not good at. They help me get better. I can't get that if I'm only in a class for 6 weeks and I go, well, I studied with Howard Fine for his 6 week program, I'm ready to act. No, you are not. It will take you at least a year to really get the program that Howard is teaching in you. And he is a master teacher, just like Larry Moss. There are some teachers that are exceptional, and just studying with them for a 6 week or 4 week intensive is not enough. It's good, but it's not enough. So just want to let you know that. Bad CEOs neglect their branding to be consistent with their branding. So as an actor, we want to be consistent. We want to make sure our headshots, our reels, and our social media tells the same story, that it is specific. It tells the same story. It's all connected. You don't want a headshot that tells one story, reels that tell another story. If the reels are outdated, get some new do some new material. Get in there and work your craft. Also, you don't want to be that actor, because this is a CEO in isolation, refuses to network, refuses to partner, refuses to collaborate. Good CEOs always network, are always partnering, always collaborating. They know their people. You, as an actor, have to know your people. You got to get out there. You got to read. You have to study. You got to be connected with other actors. It's very important. A lot of times you will get work because of another actor. They'll say, hey, I read for this, and when I was reading the script, I saw a part that would be perfect for you. You should submit your picture and resume to these people, or email your stuff to these people. So no isolation for the actor. Can't isolate. No. And number 10, an ill-informed CEO is always making excuses. They're always blaming the industry. They're always, instead of sharpening the skills that they need to do or sharpen their strategy. You as an actor cannot blame your agents or managers, and I hear this all the time. Actors will complain about their agents. They don't call them, they don't check in, they don't give them a new material, they don't let them know what they're doing, yet they expect the agent to give them stuff. No, it does not work that way. It is a relationship. And if you are in a relationship with an agent that does not return your emails, that is not communicating with you when you submit stuff in a timely fashion, then you should start thinking about somebody else, because we are in relationship with agents. We are in relationships with managers. It is not, I'm waiting on them to call me. They'll forget about you. You know how many people they have on their roster? And so you got to be in there. You gotta get to them at least every 2 weeks. Let them know what you're doing. Hey, I'm doing a workshop. I'm taking this acting class. I'm shooting a short. I'm changing up. I want to take new headshots. What do you recommend? Get them engaged in your career. So one of one of the scriptures that I always think about when people are not doing their stuff and they're not honing in is Isaiah 4:6 that says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Do not be that person where you are not paying attention. You're waiting for somebody else to do it. No, 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 no. So now let's talk about the successful CEO, because we want you to win. I want you to win, okay? I want you to do your stuff. So a strong CEO learns. You're always learning. You're always growing. If you ever read any of Bill Gates' blogs, he's always talking about the books he reads. All the big groups that I'm part of, these mastermind groups and stuff, they have us reading books every month. So we're growing, we're stretching as an actor. What biographies are you reading? What acting books are you reading? What business books are you reading? What self-development books are you reading? You should be reading a book at least once a month. I've got 4 to 6 books that I read a month. And it's not easy, but it's like, okay, I have to expand myself. I have to grow. I have to develop. You're never too old to grow. Dr. Amen, who I love, he's a brain doctor, and Jim Quick, who's also a brain influencer. They talk about how the more you learn, the better your brain gets, and it doesn't matter what age you are. If you are growing, the synapses are firing off in your brain. You're learning. You're expanding your mind, your brain. You don't, as you get older, and you hear people, "I'm going to retire." That's some nonsense. There's no retirement in the Bible. What is that? It is, you're always moving. Even in the Bible, Joshua and Caleb were 80 years old when they entered the promised land. And Caleb, the first thing he said to God was, "I am ready, Lord. Give me my land that you promised me. I'm ready." He wasn't like, I'm too old now. I'm 80 years old. You promised me that when I was 40, but I'm 80 now. No, it was like, "I'm ready. Give me my land." So you're never too old to learn. So a strong CEO is always learning, always adapting, and always investing in growth. And I want to make that point to you. Invest in your career. I'm always investing in my career. I've always invested in my career. I would produce my own play and put it up. I did stand up for a long time, and I created groups, stand-up groups, to go and perform, because I wasn't waiting for for the clubs to say, "Okay, we'll give you a spot tonight," because a lot of times if they had one girl on, that was it. So I wasn't going to sit there and complain. I wasn't going to sit there and wait. I was like, okay, well, what can I do? So as a CEO, start thinking about, what can you do? How can you invest in your business? Does that mean you do a web series? Maybe you want to do a podcast. And for those of you who are interested in podcasts, let me know, because then I'll do a special video to walk you through the steps on how to do a podcast. Having been doing these for 13 years, I can give you some pointers so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. I've done all kinds of things and I've made all kinds of mistakes, and that's why I get on here and talk to you, so that you don't make the mistakes I do and you could get to your success quicker. So a great CEO builds systems to scale. So that means you create your routines, you have your things in place, how you're doing everything, so that when you are hiring people, you can go, "This is how we do it. Here's the directions." Systems are directions to follow. And a good CEO delegate smartly. So you're delegating important things that you can take off of your plate. Also, a CEO thinks long term. As an actor, think long term, not just, "I need a job today." Think long term. If you are struggling financially, Get a side hustle. Do something. Today, there are so many jobs that you can take and still have your career going. You know, you can do Uber Eats. They're just all kind. When I was doing it, there were three things an actor could do: bartend, be a waiter, or a hostess or a host. That it was very limited. Today there are so many things you can, you can start a podcast, talk about a certain thing, sell that product. There's just a lot that you can do. You just have to think in terms of what it is, what other skill sets do you have that you can utilize to bring in money. Are you great with graphics? Are you a great editor? I just encountered a young man who's an actor who does reels for people. If you got editing skills, there are a lot of actors that need their reels done. You can put up a website, say, hey, I'm doing, I do reels. It's, $45, $65 an hour, whatever it is. Start making your money that way. So, and then your time, you can work around what it is that you need in order to do your self tapes, in order to go to auditions, in order to go to events. So, and a great leader leads with vision and faith. Faith is that you believe it is going to be successful. You have confidence in that. You know what that is. You're doing what it is that you need to do. John C. Maxwell says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So we want to know the way, we want to go the way, and we want to show the way to others. So let me give you 10 steps to help you start operating like a CEO. Number 1, write your vision statement. Spend some time, maybe during the weekend, you just sit and write your vision statement. What is your vision? Write it down. What do you want? And then, it could be in the next 3 years. Where do you want to be in the next 3 years? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? And just come up with a statement for that. Create a business plan. You can go to Google. You can even go to ChatGPT and say, hey, Chatty, I want to create a business plan. Please help me create a business plan. ChatGPT is fantastic. Again, I'm just saying it. I don't get paid for it, but I love Chat and I love Perplexity. I love Gemini. So just they're out there. They can help you. The next thing is start building your brand identity. If you don't know what it is you sell right now, you should be in an acting class figuring that out. You should be taking pictures, headshots that start to look like what it is that you want to sell. So you are building, and let me just say something about your brand identity. It does change. It's not the same forever. It changes. John Travolta is a great example of his brand identity changing every so many years. Tom Hanks also, you can see his brand identity has changed. So, it can change. It's not something that stays the same forever because you don't stay the same forever. The next thing you want to do as, setting yourself up to be CEO is set your measurable goals. Write down the goals. I work on 3 goals a month. I started last year shifting how I do my goals because of a book called 12-Week Year. So instead of doing my goals for the year, I do my goals every 3 months. And I've accomplished so much more in the last year, almost 2 years, because of doing my goals every 3 months. Okay, these are what I'm going to accomplish for these 3 months, because it makes you focus more intentionally in just a couple of things, and then you can get to the next ones and then the next ones. It is great. As a CEO, you want to start tracking your progress. Again, I will say to you, I am gifting you the Acting Smarter Now planner, And you can get it at actingsmarternow.com/gift. So you can start tracking your progress in the different areas. And then you can delegate certain things to your AI tools, meaning you can go to chat and say, can you, help me with this? Go to Perplex, help me with this. Number 7, start to build relationships and networks in the acting space with actors, with casting directors, with directors, with writers. Writers are great people to start to connect with. Just great. They're writers, I find, are the most available people in the business, more so than directors and more so than other actors if they're on a higher level. But writers will talk to you. Writers are fabulous. And then number 8, invest in yourself. Invest in taking a really great acting class. Invest in being in a positive acting community. So I am starting an acting community called the Acting Smarter Circle. If you want, go to actingsmarternow.com and get on the wait list. Number 9, protect your business with knowledge. You got to know more about the business. So you should be reading the Daily Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, the Wrap, Deadline. You should be reading these industry papers. Go online and they have daily stuff that they send out. You could do a subscription. You should be connected to Backstreet oh God, it just left me. Backstage. I'm sorry, Backstage. They've changed their names over the years. I can't remember. Backstage. You should know what's happening in the business. You should know who's casting what. Casting About is a great website for you to sign up and get a yearly service with, so you know where the casting directors are and what they're working on. You should have your IMDb Pro subscription. You should have Actors Access. That is part of your business. As a CEO, you should have these things. You got to find the money to do it. Most actors are always broke. But if you have a side hustle and you got some kind of business, you can maintain all these subscriptions and do what you need to do. The first 7 years that I was out here and I was booking work, I had a day job that I could do what I needed to do to get my headshots, to go on whatever I needed to do. I had that extra fun. And I remember when I quit my job, because I was like, well, I'm working a lot as an actor now, I'm going to quit my job. And I did it for a year, and I was not prepared because I did not set myself up for success. I did not think ahead of, I just thought, I want to be out of this job. And it was difficult. I had no money. I was behind on my rent a lot. I was behind on bills. I would have to last minute go take these jobs and do it. And I did not understand the process. No one told me about it. No one, I had to learn the hard way. So I say to you, have a side hustle to keep you going, because with acting, there's ups and downs. You might be the flavor of the month and book a lot of work, and then you don't book again for another. I went 2 years without booking work, and I was auditioning. It wasn't like it was dry. I was auditioning, but I was not booking work. I was in my acting classes during that time. I was still not booking work. For whatever reason, that 2-year period, I know what it was. I had cut my hair. I think I cut my hair, and I cut my hair thinking it's not about my hair, and it was, because that was part of my brand. So for 2 years, until my hair grew back, I did not book work. So there's just a lot of things we have to think about as the CEO of our company as actors. And number 10, I would say to you, evaluate your business every 3 months. every 90 days you should look and go, okay, have I been going on an audition? No. Have I been doing this? No. What do I need to do to get there? Start thinking in terms of, okay, that didn't work. I'm a switch over. I'm gonna change this. The Bible says in Proverbs 16:3, commit to the Lord whatever you do and he will establish your plan. So get together with people that that can help you. Sit with God and just talk to God to help you on your journey. You are the CEO of your business. I really want you to understand this. You have to take charge. You have to reach out to the people. You have to let casting directors know who you are in a respectful way. Can small home movies on YouTube help? That depends on what kind of movies you're doing. If you're making a little short, if you're talking about doing a short and you put it up on YouTube, yeah, that can help. But I wouldn't just put it up on YouTube, just, whatever. I would do a little campaign for a short film that you make. Have a theme. What's the story? What are you the protagonist in the story? Are you the hero? Are you the villain? Maybe it's a 3-minute short movie or a 5-minute short movie. And if you're going to just, if you're making a movie, don't just I would say don't just put it up on YouTube, but have a plan. Figure out what festivals you can put that movie in so you can get buzz, and then do the press releases, letting people know Lydia Nicole, her movie, Calling Up Poppy is premiering at the Sundance Festival. It's premiering at the Hollywood Film Festival. It's premiering at the Bronx Festival, where you're putting stuff out there, and then on your social media use that to say, hey, I just got chosen to be in the Manhattan Film Festival or the Long Beach Film Festival, whatever, and keep it out, and then let them know what happened. Take a little short a little video of you going to the festival if you can. I worked with a young man recently who had submitted his short film for the Cannes Short Film Festival. And when he told me that he had submitted it and it got chosen, I said, so you're going to the film festival? He says, oh no. I said, oh no, you got to go to that festival. No matter whether you win the award or not, you have to go. You have to be there. You have to record that. And and it was like 2 weeks before. I said, if you have to borrow money, whatever you have to do, take out a loan, you must go to this film festival. That's a big deal, going to Cannes. And so there's a company called Affirm for you actors. And you can, if you need to travel, you can do, they do a 12-month or 18-month payment plan. So you can get your ticket and then pay it off every month. You put a little money down every month. So if you need to go to a film festival, think about that. If you need, they do airlines, they do hotels, but I've used it. It's fantastic. If you are, excuse me, if you are short on cash and you need to do a payment plan, Affirm is great. And there are other companies, but I can only speak on Affirm because I've only used them and I love them. And sometimes when I'm buying expensive equipment, I'll use them because I want the equipment now. I don't want to wait later. And it allows me to pay in installments, and it is fabulous. So don't just put, going back to what you asked me, don't just put the short film on YouTube. Make a production out of it. Make it a big deal. Enter it into as many festivals as you can that cater to whatever that story or genre is. If it's a comedy, look for comedy festivals. If it's Film noir, look for film noir festivals. If it's a drama, if it's a black African American project, look for African American film festivals. There are a lot of them. Latino festivals, Asian festivals. Find the festivals that suits the material that you are working on. So I hope that helps you. Again, I want to remind you that up until the end of October, I am gifting you my Acting Smarter planner. It's a digital, and the course, which is also online. So you can watch it, let it help you. Again, knowledge is power. And it's not just the knowledge, but the application of it is necessary. I adore you, and I want you to win. I want you to win. So let's go. Stretch your imagination. Do your vision. Write down your vision statement. Let's get to work, my friend. Let's do this. Let's do this. You got this. Don't drop the ball. Now is the time for you to get your stuff in gear. You're in charge. If you have a manager or agent and you have not connected with them, call them today. Just check in. Okay? All righty. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.